Okay, so you're going to start on your backs. Go into Supta Vadakanasana, or if you want to make it a little bit more of like a little hip opening, you can crisscross your legs like this. Crisscross your legs and then lay down on your backs like that. Yep. And go into like a little restorative hip opener like this with your palms open. Good. Have your palms facing open, or you can have one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Close your eyes for just a moment. I know it's hard to do. There's tons of distractions. Yeah, and just breathe. Just make a connection with your breath this morning. So a nice slow inhalation through your nose, a nice slow exhalation. And the idea of the practice is like, you want to find the sweet spot in your practice. You don't want to do too much, but you don't want to not do enough. So that's going to be different for everybody because everybody's got a different situation. If you did the crisscross of the legs with your eyes closed, just switch the crisscross. So the opposite legs cross now. If you're just in a Supta Baddha with the soles of the feet together and the knees apart, then just stay. Just a few more cycles of breath. Good. Open your eyes, take your feet flat to the floor, make a little mountain with your legs, reach your arms forward. Let's just activate our core this morning. Reach your arms forward and just pause. Really anchor the feet, really anchor the lower back, create a drawing in of your navel and a lifting of your upper shoulders. So it's kind of like a Pilates roll up. Get up really, really high this morning. Lift your legs on an angle, pause, keep the lift, keep the lift, keep the lift. Then lower the legs down, scoop up a little bit more. Exhale the breath, let it go. So here we go. We're going to move just like this. Pull yourself up. Scoop yourself up as high as you can. Lift your legs on an angle that works. It could be straight out at an angle like I'm demonstrating, or straight up, or even lower if you like more intensity. Rebend the legs. Scoop up higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Lift yourself up. Scoop up as high as you can, keeping your lower back down, not yanking your head up. Lift your legs on an angle. Rebend the legs, lift up higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle. Rebend the legs, lift higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle. Rebend the legs, keep lifting. Exhale the breath, let it go. Hug the knees in, rock and roll a couple times. Cross the ankles. Step to your first down dog. So if you're nursing an injury, you're going to find what works here using your blocks. Your first downward facing dog. Spread your palms really wide across the mat. Take up a lot of space this morning. Bend a little behind your knees. And then just pause in your down dog. Pause in your down dog. Yeah. Fix your eyes on something that is not moving. Yeah. Let your head just be heavy. Move the shoulders away from your ears so you can create that external rotation. Stay with it. So I just chose to hold a down dog yesterday for like a couple minutes, just to challenge myself to see if I could really just be in the pose. And it's hard. It's hard to just stay in the posture and just feel all sorts of stuff comes up, feeling like I don't want to do this. I don't want to hold this, but just plug down so you can feel the lift of your hips lifting up really, really high. The back side of your body is getting open. Yeah, and now keep your arms and your legs as straight as you can and roll forward to your first plank. So roll forward to your first plank. Yes. Lengthen your tailbone. Now, no, in plank, you could always drop your knees to support the posture. or drop to your forearms for some of us. Yes. Lead with your chest either which way that you're doing this. So when I say lead with your chest, you're not leading with your neck. There's a big difference. Your head is very neutral. I like the dristi at the front edge of the mat, but you feel like your chest is coming forward enough that you could really maintain a strong stability. Outer triceps grip in, belly draws in, thighs contract, and the outer ankles hug in. Hold. Arms and legs straight, hips up and back, down dog. Good. Find your spot that works for you. Roll forward again to a plank position. So come all the way forward to a plank position. Yeah. So you're in plank. You're finding grounding and stability. Lift your right foot an inch. Hug your right knee towards your navel. Scoop out your belly. Slide the right foot back plank. Lift the left foot an inch. Hug the left knee in. Left leg back, plank position. Do this again. Lift the right foot an inch. Hug the right knee towards the navel. It's like a little mountain climber. Right foot back, plank. Left foot lifts an inch. Hug the left knee in. Left leg back, plank. Hips up and back, dog. Look to the top of the mat. Step, step to get there this morning. Long spine on an inhale breath. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Try that again. Long spine on an inhale. Hands can be on your shins as well. Little bend in your knees. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. So amended sun A's to start this morning. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Look up with your eyes. Dive over, bend knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips or hands just simply slide to your shins with your weight forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms reach up, it's really grounding and meditative. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine on your inhale, create some space. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms stretch straight up towards the sky, look up. Dive again over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare you. Exhale, fold in half. Root to rise, come all the way up, anchor. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Arms slide up, look up. Dive again over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, step, step to plank. So you're just gonna step, step to plank position now. You're going to lower halfway to your version of a push-up chaturanga, or omit it if you're working on something else. Drag yourself to a smooth up dog or baby cobra, depending on you. Anchor through your hands and the tops of your feet. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. So, Dara, I was just reminding you of those amended sun A's because those are really good. Because you can just be at the top and just move like that and really make a connection and really avoid vinyasa. Okay. So here we go. Look to the top of the mat, step, step, your feet there, or float if you feel really energized. Long spine to prepare you. Exhale to fold you. Nice. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Again, arms reach straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine on the inhale. So set yourself up here, step, step to plank. Then when you get to plank, lower halfway at most, or just hold your push-up, your plank position. Drag yourself to a smooth up dog or cobra. Lead with your chest always. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Quieting the mind and letting the body be responsive to that. Look to the top of the mat, step, step, or float your feet there this morning. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Again, arms slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to set you up. Step, step, or float through your vinyasa. So remember, if you float, goes to a chaturanga. Up dog drags you through. Good. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Press strong through your hands. Keep your arms nice and straight. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet there. Long spine on the inhale, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms reach up, stretch up big. Dive again over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine sets you up. Find that space. Step to plank. Lower halfway to your version of a push-up. Drag yourself through an upward facing. Point your toes. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Roll forward plank. Lift your right foot an inch. Let it hover. Hug your right knee towards your navel. Pause. Land your right foot forward and through into a low lunge. Yes, activate your legs, grip your right hip in strong, stretch your arms forward and then up, crescent lunge. You can always modify with your back knee down. Hip points drive forward, arms integrate up towards the sky. Anchor through your feet and your legs, and then feel your waist and your ribs kind of lengthen up. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving. Get grounded and just breathe. You're going to drop your arms, like I said, at airplane wings alongside your body, palms face out. Tip your body forward, launch off to warrior three. This is a good opportunity to use blocks if you feel like you need to balance, using blocks out in front of you. Arms reach back, or arms could reach forward. A little soft bend behind your right knee, a strong flex of your left foot. As you steer your right hip underneath you, your back leg is strong. Keep a lot of length in the body. Giant step back into warrior one. Take a big step. Mine was a little sloppy. If it didn't work out, that's okay. Just kind of arrange yourself. Create the shape of first warrior, gripping your right hip in. Strong turn of your back foot and your left ribs. Anchor strong through your feet. Reach up with your arms. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Step to a plank. Hold plank or hold push-up position, you decide. Re-straighten your arms to plank. Lift your left foot an inch. Let it hover. Hug your left knee in. Squeeze the belly in. Look forward with your eyes. Land your left foot forward and through. Come to your fingertips. Back leg is strong. Grip your left hip in and then come up crescent. Just keep it very simple this morning. Feel the anchor. Feel the stability through the lower half of the body. Back leg is strong. Lower half of the body is rooting down. Upper half of the body is moving up. Your eyes can go up a little, but keep your neck nice and neutral. Drop your arms by your side body. Lead with your chest first, because you want to launch off warrior three. Use the blocks at the front of your mat if you need them. Bend deeply behind your left knee, grip your left hip in, and flex your right foot strong. Upper body is a little higher than the rest of the body, so creating a little back bend here. Flex your back foot strong. There's an activation of your right thigh towards the ground. Keep your eyes fixed, keep your breath moving. Giant step back, warrior one, do your best, just guiding your foot back. Left hip hugs in, right ribs wrap forward. Press to the outer blade of your back foot as you root down to reach up. Another big breath in, stay with it. Hands come down, move through a vinyasa, or you're welcome to just go to a down dog and hold. Good. Look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet there this morning, get there lightly. Long spine when you arrive, exhale, fold into yourself. Sit deeply into your chair, your first one. I've been doing mine with my feet a little separated. It gives my lower back a little more space. Stick your butt way back, reach your arms straight up. Move the energy into your heels so your shins move back. And create a little up dog through your spine. That's it. Shoot up to stand up. So come to the top of your mat, drag your hands to prayer, and drop your arms. And we start from here. Let's put it all together. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Sit deeply into a chair. Fold over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare yourself. Step or float through your vinyasa. So it's gonna be a little different for everybody. Yeah, up dog is a smooth operation. Hips up and back, downward facing. The right foot lands, the back foot turns. Warrior one, if crescent feels better in your lower back or your body, that's an alternative. Take that. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa at your own speed. That could just be going to your dog. When you get to your downward facing dog, the left foot lands, the back foot turns. Your version of warrior one that works. Hands come down through your vinyasa on your own breath and your own count. Upward facing dog, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Allow your body to feel. Maybe you notice that your arms are really straight today. You can grip your outer triceps in a little bit more. Look forward with your eyes. Keep that. Step or float to the top. Get there light. Long spine. Keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Sit again into your chair pose. Weight moves into your heels. Press up to stand up. So let that energy shoot you up towards the sky. Hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Again, arms stretch straight up towards the sky. Sit deeply into chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing, point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. The idea is to build some heat and momentum in body and mind. Hands come down to the floor through a vinyasa. Keep breathing, keep moving. That is the goal. Left foot lands, back foot turns. Here we go, warrior one on the left side. Back down we go through your vinyasa. We'll meet in a down dog and we'll hold and breathe. With your arms super straight today, look forward with your eyes, step or float your feet there. Long spine on the inhale, at the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Sit again into chair, weight moves into your heels. Shoot up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Arms slide straight up towards the sky, sit deeply into chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing, press through the tops of the feet in your hands. Downward facing, right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Come on up. Back down we go, chaturanga. Upward facing, press through the hands and the feet. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, keep it going. Warrior one. It's Friday, it's time to move. Hands come down through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog, point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet there. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair, weight moves into your heels. Shoot up to stand up, hands to prayer. Lean your weight on your left leg and bend your right leg up into a tree. Just bend your right leg up into a tree. So tree pose can be high up on the thigh. It can be lower down if there's sensitivity or the balance is not there today. Hands to prayer. Hug your hips in super strong. Fix your eyes and then grow your branches. So sometimes it feels really good to have your arms straight out like this. So you can play with different variations of this. The arms can be halfway up. They can go all the way up towards the sky, depending on your shoulder tightness. So don't be afraid to explore. You can interlace your hands. You can press the insteps of the palms and then start to look up with your eyes. Just get yourself calm and balanced and grounded here. Hands come to prayer, lightly just step down, pause, shift the weight into the right leg, draw the left leg up into a tree. So just keeping things really simple. Sometimes the best way, the best movement is the simplest movement. Find your balance, find your stability, grow your branches. If you need to lean against something, you do that. Grip your hips in super strong and then grow your branches. Anytime we anticipate balancing, we anticipate falling, so that's okay. Few more breaths. Hands to prayer, just step down. You're at the top of the mat, your feet can have a little separation here, may feel better. Reach your arms straight up towards the sky, energize. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing, smooth, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward, turn your back foot on its side, cartwheel open, warrior two. So come into open hips, warrior two. Yeah. Settle into your warrior two, track your inside of your right knee open. So it lines up and the inside of your right knee rolls to the outside of your right baby toe. Arms nice and straight, open. You can fix a dristi on your left hand, on your right hand, down the center. Anything goes. You can close your eyes. Feel your upper body holding you up in space. Lengthen your tailbone straight down. Keep the breath flowing right here. Stay with it. This is where we start to get a little impatient. We start to wiggle out of our skin, out of our minds. Just stay with it. 3 more breaths. Keep the strength of the lower half of the body. Flip your palm, a gentle reverse warrior, very gentle, not jamming into the lower back, side ribs getting a little opening, just lengthening and creating space. Reach back through warrior two and go for a block to the outside of your right foot. You're welcome to place the block the highest direction today, the medium direction, the lowest direction. Your arm can also rest on the top of your thigh. Ideally, this pose, your arm wraps up and forward. Right? But not everyone can do that with their range of motion. It can go straight up. Your hand can also just be on your hip. The goal of the pose is continuously wrapping your right thigh to the inside of your right arm to create a hip opening, breathing and feeling your right hip gripping underneath you as you turn your bottom right ribs up. We're holding this morning and breathing. So notice if you start to clench your toes, your jaw, hold your breath, make a funny face, catch yourself before you do it, come back to a nice smooth pose. Lighten the load a little, lighten your breath. Keep hugging your right hip underneath you. Look to the floor, circle both hands to frame your right foot. Pivot your left heel, you're in a low lunge. Spring your left foot in front of your right. So you're going to crisscross. Your left shin goes in front of your right shin. Come to your fingertips and then fold. And then walk your hands a little bit to the left, but keep your hips even over your heels. Yeah. So you're in a crisscross forward fold. That's it. Bend a lot behind your knees if this doesn't feel great for your hamstrings. Yeah, or slide blocks underneath your hands. Walk back to center, come to your fingertips, pause for a second. So you're gonna reach for your block on the highest setting. You're gonna straighten out your right foot, bring your left hand to your hip, and unravel into a half moon from here. Do it slow enough so you can feel. Your right leg is the leg that you're standing on, the left leg is the lifted leg, and then open up into your version of half moon. Find the height of the block that works for you, okay? It needs to be enough to the right off that baby toe that you can find side body extension. Flex your left toe super strong. Find your balance. Make the connection right here to the breath and the pose. Hold. If you fall out, just join us again. Actively hugging your right hip underneath you, actively flexing your left toes super strong, transitioning to triangle pose. You're welcome to use the block. If you can just step back and grab the front shin, go ahead and do so. If it wasn't so graceful, that's okay. Join the party. Pull up in the front of the right shin, side body is long, left arm stretches up nice and high. Breathe. You want to feel like you're leaning back a little bit here, but not in your lower back. Soft bend behind your right knee. Hips are nice and strong. Side ribs are long. It's a powerful pose. Find a lot of space in your body. Your collarbone is spreading wide. Look to the floor, bring it down through vinyasa, guys. Chaturanga should feel good. You should be able to maintain that. Upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. In your down dog, land your left foot forward. Anchor your back foot. Cartwheel open, warrior two. So warrior two, take a few moments to just kind of find the posture. Make sure your left knee tracks open. Your back foot is on enough of an angle that you can really get down the center. Your side ribs are long and your arms are open nice and wide. Pick a drishti that works for you. And then breathe. If you feel like you're all over the place, just pick a spot to focus on. You may find that you can look there for a few breaths and then your drishti may change. We have to be realistic with this stuff. We're human. Yeah. You start to feel a lot through your arms. Breathe across your collarbone and your upper body. Give your right arm as much energy as your left. Stay with it. Bend a little deeper into your standing left thigh, guys. Flip the left palm, reverse your warrior. Make it a soft movement, nothing too jammy in the lower back. Create side body extension, come back through warrior two, and reach out for your extended side angle A. You may find that the block, the highest setting this morning, feels really yummy, so you could go for that. I don't know if yummy is the word. Right arm can wrap up and forward. Left knee tracks the inside of the left arm. You can always rest your arm on the top of the thigh if this is too much. Anchor the right leg strong and create a bow and arrow type shape. Look up with your eyes. Grip your left hip underneath you and turn your ribs. Your left ribs turn towards the ceiling. Make the strong connection with your breath. We're here for a few more. Soften your left shoulder. Really working on muscular energy today. When we hold the poses only for a few breaths, not much happens. This is where the change happens, when we hold. Look to the floor, circle both hands down. Your right heel peels up, you're in a low lunge. Spring forward and cross your right ankle over your left. Crisscross at your feet, your baby toes are together, the heels have a little separation. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold. Use blocks if the floor is far. Crawl your hands a little to the right today. Feel the hips stretch the left side of the body. Breathe. Let your head just be free. Keep moving the weight into the balls of your feet. We don't want to sit back in our heels here. Come to center with your hands. Keep your left foot where it is. Reach for a block. It goes nicely underneath your left hand. Right hand on hip. Unravel slowly into your version of half moon. Stack yourself accordingly. Lean against a wall, a bed, a sofa, a small person. Stack yourself up. Breathe. So your arms are set up like they were in Warrior Two. Grip your left hip super strong underneath you. It's Tadasana with your left leg. Side ribs are long. Find space and extension. Draw awareness to your top right foot. Flex it a little more. Look down, slow, smooth transition to triangle. If you need the block, you bring it with you. Grab somewhere in the front of the shin. Reset if it doesn't feel right. You can always shorten your stance. Pull up in the front of the pants. Stack the right arm up. You want to feel like you're leaning back a tiny bit. That looks good. And just breathe and hold. It's like things that we don't want to do. We want to breathe, but we don't want to hold. Look to the floor, circle it down, move yourself through a vinyasa. Be happy about that. Chaturanga, upward facing, press actively through the tops of the feet and the hands, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet there. Just bring yourself to the top of the mat or crawl. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold into yourself. Bring your hands to your hips, pull yourself up to stand and just stand for a second. Separate your feet, hips width distance. Yeah, stand on your right leg, guys. I'm just going to turn so we can stay together. Right leg is with the leg that we're going to balance on. Left leg is going to come up, grab below the left kneecap. Start like this. Yeah. If you can move on, reach down, grab your big toe. Your right hand can move to your hip. If you can move on, the leg can extend forward. Yeah. Right arm can reach up. This can be done with a bent knee the entire time, just like this. This is a great way to work. Contract the right thigh, lift through the waist. The right side of the body is doing all the energy to keep you lifted. Yeah. Keep the lift of the leg and switch the grip. You can grab the outside of the leg or the outside of the foot, depending on your flexibility. The leg that's going forward does not have to be pinned straight. The standing leg that you're balancing on does need to be straight so you stay out of your lower back. Wrap the left arm back and begin to look back with your eyes. Good. If you're just choosing the bent leg option, this is a really great place to be as well, working on balance, stability. Flex the left foot strong. Breathe your back arm open. Good. Come around to center, your arms up and your leg up. See if you can lift your left leg towards the air and the arms drive towards the ceiling. Keep reaching your arms up towards the sky. Draw your left leg back, Warrior One. You may need to walk your right foot over to the right. Step into a Warrior One, guys. It's brief. Good. Keep your arms stretching up, straighten your right leg on track. You may need to step your left foot in an inch or two if you feel like the stance is a little off. Right hand on hip, left arm extends out in front of you. Come into twisting triangle right here. Use a block underneath your left hand, right hand on the flat part of your back. Stack the two arms. It's a nice way to get in, a little different. We're normally stepping into it. If your stance feels a little funky, you're always welcome to reset. Yeah, I like the block underneath the left shoulder, the left hand. The right palm can be on the flat part of your back, which is going to give you a lot of information about where your pelvis is in space. We want it nice and even. And then one last thing, anytime that we twist like this, we want to look sideways or look up. Try not to look back because it has the tendency of rounding our spine. Anchor your feet strong and really grip those hips in underneath you. Two more. Good things happening. Look to the floor, place both hands down. Move your block forward, spring your left foot forward. Feet can come together, a little separation. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold. Now we sit into our chair. We put that all together. Hands to prayer at heart. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow and twist. So as you hook your elbow and you twist, you decide, do I want to hook my elbow and twist with my feet together? Or do I want to have a little separation for my low back? Regardless of the feet together or not, you want to watch that your two knees stay together. The tendency is that your left hand, your left knee slides in front. Good. Spine nice and long. Crown of the head is forward as you get in there. Try not to suffer. Just breathe. Strong in your legs, strong in your breath. Come around to chair. Yay, chair pose. Shoot up to stand up, get the heck out of it. Drag your hands to prayer. I'm always so happy when I get to come out of this pose. Yes, drop your arms. I feel the same way you all do, unless there's some of you that like this pose. Stand on your left leg, guys. Draw your right knee in and just grab below the kneecap. Start like this. It's good to start really basic. I come to the mat some days and standing here like this is pretty much all I can do. That's it. If you want to move on, you decide, okay, I'm ready to move on, or I'm good. Hook the big toe, left hand to hip. You can extend the leg forward. Breathe. And this may not be for everybody. The leg that you're standing on needs to be straight. The leg that's moving forward can have a lot of bend if you need it to. You can also lean against a wall. Keep that right leg moving forward, bent or straight, doesn't matter. Switch the grip and take the twist. Maybe look into that back hand. And if you fall out of it, you fall out of it. You got it. Nice, Natalie. Yes. The length is coming from that standing leg. Breathe. Keep the lift of the leg, guys. Don't let it go. Pull around to center. Everybody see if they can lift your right leg in space. Go straight with it, even if it's low to the ground. Arms are moving straight up. Leg is moving forward. Keep the arms reaching up. Draw the belly in. Guide your right leg back. Warrior one. Just do your best with it. Warrior one. Yeah. Straighten your left leg on track. Keep reaching your arms up. You may need to scoot your right foot in. Left hand comes to hip. Reach out with your right hand and come forward into twisting triangle. Okay, so this is important. Natalie, make sure I can't see where your block is. Make sure your block, I'll demonstrate because it's easier to see, is on the instep of your foot and it's on its highest setting, because what we want in this pose is the legs anchored and the spine long. We're never twisting through our low back. The only twist is happening through our ribs. I like to guide myself with my hand on my lower back because then I know I'm in a good alignment. And this could be where I stay. Anchor strong for your legs and your inner and outer hips. Stack the body neatly. And then maybe in time, the top arm can rise up. You don't want to feel like you're cranking yourself in this pose. It should really be a nice opening. Yeah, and that's why the hand on the lower back is really nice. Stay with it. Eyes meet the floor, hands go to the ground, and then you step to the top of the mat. So you do it in those steps so everything stays very neutral. Long spine when you come there. Exhale, fold into yourself. Then we sit into the famous chair pose, and we won't hold it for too long. Drag your hands to a prayer. Inhale your breath, hook the elbow, and twist. One other way I've been doing this is rather than hooking the outside of the leg, I rest my elbow on the meaty part of the thigh and I kind of stay a little more upright. So if you've got any back sensitivity, you can play with that. Watch that the legs stay aligned though, the feet, the knees, the shins, nothing's moving past one another. Stay with your breath, drop longer. I got good things coming for you. Good things. I got some crazy cake coming for Noah, Patty. You'll be so proud of me. Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. I'll save you a piece. Chair pose, come around. I found a nut-free bakery in South Carolina. Yes, they're shipping today. Shoot up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Standing on your left leg at the top of your mat, cross your right ankle over the top of the right thigh. So if you're near a wall, you can always take your butt and lower your butt into the wall. This is a great technique. Hands can come to your hips and then you're going to fold. If you have blocks, use the blocks. So the idea here is that we want to get into our hip a little bit. Right. Good. Yeah. Perfect. So a couple things that you can do in this pose that, you can play with. This is kind of what I do. So flex the top foot strong. The blocks go in front and they go up nice and high, okay? Set yourself up like this. You can also bring your hands into prayer and use the back of your triceps to get in there. If you really want to work on balance, you could reach your arms back and hover, kind of like an airplane, or your arms forward is going to be even more intense. I like the hands on something, so I could really get the opening of the hip. If you're dying for arm balancing, this would be where you're putting that in. Now the goal is to keep your hips very low. Transfer the weight really into your legs. Bring your hands to your hips and then come up at the same time. And then lower your right foot down and just stand. So the other side, cross the ankle over the thigh, whatever leg you didn't do. Flex the foot strong and then use your hands to lower you into a chair. I like to do it this way. Press down. Find your spot that you want to work. Flex your foot. Your arms can go forward. They can go back. You can get in there. You can use your blocks, the wall. Good. And just breathe. You want to stay open with your chest to try not to collapse. This is great. This is great. You can do this on your back too, in like a restorative resting pigeon. But this is so good for that outer hip and the piriformis. At the same time, transfer your weight to your hips. Ooh, press up to stand. Those were some not graceful exits. That's okay. Stand up nice and tall. At the top of the mat together. Okay. Here we go. Let's finish this practice off, guys. Slide the arms straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips. Step your left leg back. Just step your left leg back. Walk the right foot a little to the right. Bring your arms up into a crescent lunge. Hands come to prayer at heart. Inhale the breath, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. Get in there. You can always take your hand on the instep if you want less of a twist today and just take this into more of an easy twist. You can always drop your back knee if your legs feel a little wobbly, unstable this morning. Yeah. Lean back a little bit. Get the crown of the head to line up with your back heel. Look sideways or look up. That helps tremendously. Maybe open up your arms. Twist a little deeper, last 3 breaths. Look to the floor, place both hands down. Now you may want to drop your back knee to the ground. This is optional. You're going to walk your hands on the instep of your foot. We're setting up for a version of lizard that I like, okay? The hands are going to go flat. Back knee can drop for support if you want less intensity. I like to work the arms out into like a down dog. Arms go forward. I'm going to place my hands on blocks. Wrap the inside of your right leg to the outside of your right tricep. Let your head just be neutral and hold here. 5 breaths. The activation of your back leg is a strong psoas release. Yeah, grip your right hip in strong so the foot and the knee is not turning out, and then focus on your core because you're engaging all of your core muscles here. Good, you're gonna walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Left palm's gonna go flat. Roll to the outer blade of your left foot and slide into Vadakanasana side plank. You can drop your bottom knee down. You can come to your forearm. Dara, this is kind of my armless version of side plank. So if you want to go and not use your arms at all, here's a modified version of side plank where you're not putting any pressure on your arms, your shoulders, your neck. Yeah, you're just using your core and creating a shape. Look to the floor plank. Move through a vinyasa or simply just go to a dog. You pick. When you get to your down dog, step your left foot forward, low lunge, and come up crescent lunge. Drag your hands to a prayer at heart, lean out in front of you, hook the elbow and twist. Lean back a little, get the crown of the head to line up with your back heel. Drop your back knee if you need to, and breathe. So if your back leg is straight, all the muscles around your back right kneecap are really engaged. Yeah. And your left hip is doing a lot of work. Spine is long, twist open a little more. Two more. Good, look to the floor, place both hands down. Walk your hands to the instep. Get the inside of the left leg and the outside of the left tricep to make a connection. I like the blocks out in front of me to elevate. My arms are really strong. My belly is drawing in and my high on the ball of my back foot. You can drop your back knee down if you need to, but it's a version of a lizard that's really getting into those legs. You got it. And like, if you think you get a little complacent in it, reach your arms forward more. Good. Start to walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Lean on your right hand and go into a Vadakanasana side plank right from here. Stack yourself up. I'll show you my version of no arms. Again, you can also go like this and float in space. Yep. Lift from your bottom hip. Yeah, lift a little higher. Look to the floor plank position. Lower halfway to a chaturanga. Drag yourself through an upward facing, point your toes, hips up and back, down dog. So let's slide our right leg forward into a half pigeon. Right leg forward into a half pigeon. Yeah, we've done a bunch of hip opening today. We're not going to hold this for too long, about 60 seconds on each side. So just let your body, but more importantly, your mind, just drop into it.
What are you doing? Switch sides, right through a down dog. Left leg feeds forward, half pigeon. This is where we want to check out. We start answering text messages and phone calls because I do the same thing. Just stay a few more minutes. The body and the mind will thank you later. Good. So you're on your left side of half pigeon. Use the strength of your body. Start to come up. Swing your right leg forward. I think we all have blocks or a pillow or something. So you're going to set up Vadakanasana with the soles of the feet together, but I want you to elevate your feet on a block. Start on the lowest setting. Your feet go this way. So it looks like this. You can wrap your hands underneath around your feet and you can fold. If lower back is sensitive, you can take your hands behind your back, sit up really tall. But let your inner and outer thighs get a nice opening. Insteps of the feet come together and thighs drop open. If you feel nothing here and you want more intensity, the block can go up its highest setting, like not the highest, because it's going to be hard like this, but you can go up this height and you can give yourself a little more. Right? Everyone's a little different. Yeah, I'm not going up to that highest setting. That would be terrible. Breathe. Good. Pull your torso up. Remove your feet from the block. Lay down on your backs, guys. Take your block with you. So you're going to set up for restorative bridge and then restorative shoulder stand. So we're going to first take restorative bridge and then into restorative shoulder stand. Anchor your feet. Lift your tailbone up, find a block height that works for you. I personally like it the highest, but you can go medium and you could definitely go low. Slide it underneath your lower back. Clasp your hands around the block if you can. Create that series of back bend and pause here. If you didn't have a block, you could just do this with your back flat on the ground and just take regular bridge. Now, keeping your lower back down on that block or the floor, start to lift one leg and then the other. Last little bit, guys. Stay with us. Flex the feet. Bend your legs in half, take your feet flat to the floor. Once the feet get flat to the ground, lift your hips enough that the block can come out from your lower back, lower down. Lower back flat to the ground, feet the width of the mat, let the knees knock in, hands on your belly. Slide your legs out, fall into Shavasana. If you feel you need a little supine twist, you're welcome to take it. We've done a lot of stuff. We did a bunch of twisting. I think we're good, but if you need it, go for it. Shavasana, the best part of the practice, the next 2 minutes, just be with yourself in a completely restorative setting. Throw your phone away. Just relax. Breathe a full breath in. Take a loud, deep breath out. Arms reach up over the top of the head. Give yourself a full stretch. Hug your knees to your chest. Give them a big squeeze in. And use the strength of your body and come up seated. Sit up nice and tall. Let your hands come to prayer. And just close your eyes for a second. It's a good feeling when you get to the end of a practice. Yeah. A feeling of accomplishment and gratitude. So keep that with you today because it's a good thing. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Great job. We'll be back at it again soon. Have a great weekend.